All right, UFC 312, Dricus du Plessis versus Strickland 2, the rematch. It's going down this weekend in Sydney, Australia. And this is one of the worst pay-per-views I can remember. I mean, it's a good main event, a really good main event. Even though Strickland isn't really a deserving contender, it still was a fun main event. It's a good co-main for women's MMA. It's a good co-main. The rest of the card isn't even fight night worthy. It's crazy how bad this pay-per-view is. Maybe they couldn't get anyone to fight in Australia, but I'm still excited for it. I like the Australia cards, so we'll get into it. Last week I went 7-4, I believe. Not great for me for my Saudi Arabia predictions, but yeah, we'll get into it with this card. All right, first fight: Hyung Sung Park versus, oh my God, Niam Jargao Tumendemburo out of Mongolia. I'm tempted to pick Tumendemburo just because, I mean, look at this guy. He has aura, clearly. He's a cool-looking guy. But I'm going to go with Hyung Sung Park. I think he won a fight. I remember he got a good KO a little over a year ago, I think. And the Mongolian guy, he lost recently. So I'm going to go with Hyung Sung Park. I feel like South Korea, out of all these Asian countries, South Korea produced the best prospects. Normally if there's like a prelim fight, when it's a South Korean guy, I normally go for them. And what were the odds? Yeah, he's the favorite as well. So I'm going to go with Hyung Sung Park there. Moving on up the card, Kody Steele versus Rongzhu. Kody Steele, the favorite. I have no idea who that is. I mean, who is Kody Steele? I'm sorry. So, did he win on the Contender Series? Yeah, he won on the Contender Series with a body shot TKO. Rongzhu, he's been in the UFC for a while, 25-6. I mean, this guy definitely has experience. What's he just lost? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kody Steele. I couldn't tell you one thing about him, but he's 7-0, got a body shot finish on the Dana White's Contender Series. Rongzhu definitely wins some fights in the UFC, but isn't really a top guy. We all kind of know that at this point. So I am gonna go with I'm gonna go with Kody Steele. Yeah, big up Kody Steele. All right, moving on the card. Jeez. All right. Quillan Salkilld versus Anshul Jublli. Okay, what are the odds here? Okay, Quillan Salkilld out of Australia is the favorite, -410. Anshul Jublli. Does everyone remember Anshul Jublli? We don't see a lot of Indian fighters in the UFC. I think there was like one or two before him. I think there's a women's fighter who actually won a couple fights. But Anshul Jublli, the pride of India. I liked Anshul Jublli. I wanted him to make it far, but I think it was the Volk Islam 2 card in Abu Dhabi in 2023, where it was just not a good performance for Anshul Jublli. I mean, he was up, I guess, but he was up on the cards, then his opponent started barking at him. It looked like he kind of got scared. I want Anshul Jublli to win. I like Anshul Jublli, but what was that last performance when he's getting scared at someone barking at him? Quillan Salkilld out of Australia. No idea who this is. 7-1, and my typology isn't loading, so I can't tell you anything about him. 7-1 out of Australia. I'm just gonna fade Anshul Jublli here, even though I hope he does well. I hope he wins. So I am gonna go with Quillan Salkilld. Sorry guys, I can't give you in-depth analysis here. All right, moving on. Kevin Jousset versus Jonathan Micallef. Again, another random Australian prospect in Jonathan Micallef. Kevin Jousset, I believe he trains at City Kickboxing. They're down bad right now, with Izzy just getting KO'd over the weekend. So I'm going to go with, what are the odds? Yeah, I'm going to go with Kevin Jousset here. He seems like he's a decent striker. Lost to Brian Battle. Brian Battle is pretty good. The other guy, I mean, I feel like the Australian prospects are hit or miss. It's not like, whoa, they're from Australia. So I'm going to go with Kevin Jousset to win the decision, I guess. Moving on up the card. Okay, this is interesting. Aleksandre Topuria versus Colby Thicknesse. Normally, you know, these are two dudes making their debut, but what's interesting about this fight is it's Ilia Topuria's brother versus Volkanovski's teammate. So Ilia Topuria will be in his brother's corner, obviously, and then Volkanovski will be in his teammate's corner. So what's interesting is obviously some rumors have gone on, or some rumors are swirling about Volkanovski Topuria 2 being in the works for the April card in Miami. And I hope so, because I want to go to that card and I want to vlog it. So I'm hoping, but I'm not going to go all the way to Miami if it's a crappy card. So I'm hoping they announce it this weekend. I hope so. But so this is kind of interesting for that. I know nothing about either guy, honestly. What are the odds? Okay, Topuria is the favorite. I was going to go with Topuria. Obviously, you know, they're both training at good gyms. One guy's Volk's training partner. The other guy is Topuria's brother. But I think Topuria's brother has to be kind of good, right? If his brother's the champ, his brother's one of the best fighters we've seen in a while. You're training with him side by side. You have to be getting that similar work in. And I think the other guy's taking it on short notice, so I'm going to go with Aleksandre Topuria to win. All right, moving on up the card, we have Wang versus Bruna, Brazil. Interesting. Cong Wang, you know, she was seen as a pretty good prospect in the flyweight division, and I believe she fought and beat Valentina Shevchenko in kickboxing. She has very good striking, but she just lost in the China card and the Macau card, Figgy versus Yan, and she got KO'd. No, she got hurt really bad and then submitted. And then Bruna, Brazil, kind of a 50-50 coin flip fighter in that women's division, but looked really, really good her last time out against Molly McCann. I believe she was the underdog, but she easily beat Molly McCann, and she looked very good in that fight. What are the odds here? Okay, Cong Wang is minus 440. And I still believe in Cong Wang. Look, it's MMA. Every now and then you get rocked, you get hurt, punches can land. I don't really see Bruna, Brazil being able to do that. Who beat Wang Cong? Was it Gabriela Fernandez? I'll tell you, I'm not casual. I know these last couple of fights, I'm saying I don't know who they are. But that's just because I don't know. But yeah, Gabriela Fernandez beat Wang Cong. But she just called. I'm going to go with Wang Cong. I still believe in Wang Cong. She has good striking, we can't lie. Bruna Brazil is kind of sloppy, you know, tough cookie style. So I'm going to go with Wang Cong to win there. I still believe. All right, moving on. Tom Nolan versus Viacheslav Borschev. Okay, interesting. I'm a big Viacheslav Borschev fan. I think he's one of the best strikers in that lightweight division. I know he hasn't won a lot, or he's lost a lot of fights. I'm not sure what his UFC record is. It's probably, 2-3, 3-4. The Chase Hooper performance was bad. He got dropped. That wasn't a good look. But I like Viacheslav Borschev. I like his striking. And Tom Nolan, I mean, who's Tom Nolan? I mean, I think he's won a few fights in the UFC. He's been like a massive favorite. And he's looked like, my Tapology is not loading. I know who Tom Nolan is from Australia, but I couldn't really tell you much about his fight style. I'm a kickboxer, I think. But I'm going to go with Viacheslav Borschev. What are the odds? It's close. Yeah, I like Viacheslav Borschev. I do. I'm going to go with him here versus Tom Nolan. Moving on up the card, Jack Jenkins versus Gabriel Santos. Okay, interesting fight. Gabriel Santos has kind of had a tough go in the UFC. I thought he beat Lerone Murphy. He took that fight on short notice. He looked really, really good in it. And Lerone Murphy, we know, is a top 15 guy. So not easy to do, to go toe-to-toe with a guy like Lerone Murphy. And then he's beating David Onama. David Onama fluke KO'd him. And then he recently did get a win. And then Jack Jenkins, he's a solid fighter. Good striking, well-rounded, good kicks. I don't see anything super special. I'm going to go with Gabriel Santos. I think this fight definitely is going to be close. But I just think from what I've watched of both guys, Santos appears to be the more well-rounded guy and just the better guy overall. So I'm going to go with Gabriel Santos there. But that should be actually one of the better fights on the card. Moving on, Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado. Francisco Prado, definitely tough, got a big head. I remember, I think it was the Zellhuber fight in Mexico City about a year ago where he was just getting pieced up, but he was tough. He took it. He was tough. And he's young. I think this guy's young, right? Like 22, 23. So he should be improving. Argentinian, that's kind of cool. We don't see a lot of those fighters in the UFC. Jake Matthews, you guys remember that Andre Fialho fight with Jake Matthews where he looked so good, so slick, so fast, and Fialho was like, everyone liked Fialho because he was active. And I just remember he smoked him, and we're all like, Jake Matthews is this, you know, he's making a resurgence in his career, and then he got smoked by Semmelsberger. What are the odds? Matthews minus 220. I don't think Francisco Prado is that good. I'm gonna go with Jake Matthews. Close, I guess, just kind of outdoing him. I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Jake Matthews there. So moving on up the card, Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. On the main card of the pay-per-view, what is going on? What is going on? It's near even. Jimmy Crute, we know he's disappointed in his UFC career. I mean, what is he? You know, ever since he got nerve kicked by Anthony Smith, he got chinned by Jamal Hill, but that is Jamal Hill. Who is Rodolfo Bellato? Your average Brazilian bruiser. I'm going to go with Jimmy Crute. I still believe. He's still only 28. I mean, he's about to turn 29. Good grappling, right? The issue is he's not good defensively with striking, but you can fix that. I think you can fix that if you're not good defensively. So I'm going to go with Jimmy Crute to win a decision. But I don't like that, but that's what I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna go with Jimmy Crute. Moving on, the feature fight of a pay-per-view. Is it Volk versus Aljo? No. Is it Dan Hooker versus Justin Gaethje? No. Oh, maybe is it Olberg fighting? Yeah, no. It's Tallison Teixeira versus Justin Tafa. Whoa, Justin Tafa. I mean, Justin Tafa is 7-4 versus Tallison Teixeira. I mean, I have no clue. It's an average Brazilian heavyweight versus Justin Tafa. My Tapology won't load. It won't let me hit things. Justin Tafa, I mean, we know he's a pretty good... You know what? Am I going to go with Justin Tafa? This Brazilian guy is 6'7". Justin Tafa is a good striker. He can, you know, swing and bang. But I just saw this Brazilian guy is 6'7". I'm going to go with the 6'7" Brazilian versus Justin Tafa, who's just fat. I do like Justin Tafa, though. I do like Justin Tafa. I'm not going to lie. But I'm going to go with Teixeira. All right. Moving on. Up the card. All right. I don't need to look at Tapology anymore because it's fighters we know. Zhang Weili versus Tatiana Suarez. I feel like the odds are disrespectful to Zhang Weili. I'm picking Weili. I'm not picking Suarez. I think the more dangerous fighters for Zhang Weili are like the Amanda Lemoses, the Yan Xiaonans, who are good strikers who can snipe a right hand and hurt Weili. We know Weili, she kind of gets dropped, she kind of gets rocked every now and then. I think those are the more difficult matchups for Weili. The girls who are really good strikers who can hurt her with a punch. When you look at Suarez, who's a grappler, Zhang Weili is a phenomenal grappler. Her grappling is improving rapidly. And you know what? Suarez guillotined Andrade. She beat up Montana De La Rosa. Like I know that she has good wins a while ago, like Grasso and Esparza. Those are great wins. But she's been injured a lot. She's been, you know, she signs a fight, gets injured. Signs a fight, gets injured. You know what Weili has been doing while Suarez has been recovering from those injuries? She's just been grinding in the gym in Thailand, working on her grappling like crazy. I just trust Weili's progression as a martial artist. We talk about striking. Look, Suarez is an oaf on the feet, but Zhang Weili is much more technical, much more composed, faster. A bigger arsenal of weapons. I'm gonna place a wager on Zhang Weili here. I'm be really surprised if she loses this. Now look, Weili, she sometimes she's a bit clumsy in there. Sometimes she makes mistakes, but I'm gonna go with Weili. I would be stunned. I wouldn't be stunned, but I would be surprised to see her lose this one. It's not like, you know, like Weili's 35, Suarez is 34. So I'm gonna go with Zhang Weili defending her title. I like Weili, I do. All right, the main event: Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. The first fight, I picked Sean Strickland. I thought Dricus did win the first fight. Some people say robbery. No, I thought Strickland. I thought Dricus won. It was close. I thought Dricus won. I'm going to go with Dricus. Ever since the fight's been announced, I've gone with Dricus. I'm not really wavering in that pick. I just think the issue here is Strickland is so not dangerous in these fights. Is he going to hurt Dricus? No. Is he going to submit Dricus on the ground? No. So there's a 0 chance. I just think Strickland's finishing potential is so low. And okay, maybe Dricus won't knock out Strickland, but I just think his finishing potential is so much higher. Let's see, like the grappling, Strickland has 0 chance to offensively grapple here. If someone's going to offensively grapple, it's going to be Dricus. I don't see Dricus submitting him. I don't see Dricus holding him down for a while, but in a close round, maybe Dricus gets a takedown, he lands a couple good shots of ground and pound, a little bit of control. These are things that help him win the round. And I just think, here's the issue with Strickland. So we talked about finishing potential, it's all on Dricus, right? My issue with Strickland is his style just does not coincide well with winning a decision. The Adesanya fight was obvious, right? But then the Costa fight, the Cannonier fight, which he lost, and then the Jack Hermanson. I want to focus on the Costa and Jack Hermanson fights. Those were fights that we all kind of thought Strickland easily won. They were both split decisions. And just because his style just does not bode well for winning a decision, even if he does outstrike his opponent, even if he does better, it just doesn't adhere to winning those close decisions. Dricus' style does, because he lands big shots. Dricus, we have to give Dricus some respect. That Adesanya performance was incredible. He's got good kicks. Dricus, his head kicks are fast. You don't realize this. His head kicks are faster than his leg kicks. I was watching the Strickland first fight back, and I was watching the Adesanya fight back. He does like a switch kick to the head, quick as hell. And then in the Paulo Costa fight, I have an issue with the Paulo Costa fight with Strickland. It almost looked like he was making fun of his style. Like, it'd be like if you asked me to do a Sean Strickland impression, I'm going to kind of overly exaggerate the style. So that's what he looked like in the Paulo Costa fight, like someone doing an impression of Strickland. The walking teeps are just strange. The jabs, the jabs are good, but it's just so not dangerous and so does not go well with winning a decision. And I just think, I think Strickland, we know he's a great defensive striker. Adesanya didn't really land, we know he has great defensive striking. Adesanya didn't land much. Paulo Costa didn't land much. I think Dricus is going to miss a ton, but I also think he's going to land enough. And I think he'll land bigger. So yeah, maybe Strickland lands 4, throws 10. That's 40%. That's pretty good. Maybe Dricus lands 8, throws 100. That's less than 10%. It doesn't matter. Dricus landed 8, Strickland landed 4. I kind of feel like that was at times what was going on in the first fight. Dricus is missing a ton, but because he's throwing so much out there, some is landing. He'll throw a 5-punch combination, land one of it. And then Strickland will just jab, every 10 seconds. I just think Dricus, it doesn't really matter who's in front of him. He's going to do his thing. He's going to throw the kitchen sink. He's going to throw combos. He's going to throw head kicks. He's going to throw body kicks. He's going to throw leg kicks. He's going to throw, Superman punches, 1-2s, jabs, uppercuts, hooks. He's going to mix it up in there. He's just going to do his thing, mix it up. Strickland will defend a lot of it, but I just don't see Strickland getting enough of his own offense back to win. And I think Dricus can maybe mix in the takedowns. He has all the finishing potential as well. No chance Strickland finishes them. All the chance. I'm going to go with Dricus decision. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with Dricus maybe 49-46. Maybe he hurts Strickland really bad. Maybe he drops him. I think Strickland can get around. But I think there's going to be no question about a robbery here. There's going to be Dricus clear, 49-46. Hurts Strickland 1 or 2 times, takes him down, beats him up. Strickland, I'm not even going to say has moments, does his thing a little bit. But I'd be really surprised if Dricus loses this one. It feels like this is the Dricus era, and him versus Khamzat would be phenomenal, really. I know Imavov just won, and that was a good win. Imavov has earned a title shot, but he just has to wait. Dricus versus Khamzat would be phenomenal, and I'm excited for this fight still. The first fight was very close. you can't discredit Strickland, but I would be surprised if Dricus loses this one. I'm a big Dricus fan. I like Strickland as well. But yeah, I'm gonna be live for the card, guys, so you can tune in. It'll be fun. So yeah, I'll see you later. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all that. Comment if you agree or disagree. And yeah, see you guys later. Peace.